Tiger Woods was just in a car accident today and has suffered leg injuries.
NASA's rover successfully landed on Mars.
Daft Punk officially calls it quits after 28 years.
America has reached 500,000 COVID-19 deaths.
A winter snowstorm has caused some Pennsylvanians a bit of inconvenience.
And former President Barack Obama and Bruce Springsteen are teaming up for a podcast. Stay tuned for more right here on Channel 14 News. Welcome back to Channel 14 News. I'm Rachel Pellegrino.
And I'm Caleb Yauger. Waynesburg's SAB hosted a Winterfest Friday night. Reporting from Johnson Commons, here's Riley Holsinger.
Friday night at Waynesburg University looked like a winter wonderland, but that was fitting since Winterfest was held.
The snow falling from the skies made sure that Winterfest had a very fitting name. Students came to Winterfest for different reasons, whether it was
I didn't really have anything planned for tonight.
Or
it's a Friday night, not a whole lot of homework.
Or even
long week of doing work, I decided it was something to get me out of my room.
The Waynesburg Student Activities Board provided a couple of fire pits and hot chocolate to keep students warm. Although fires, hot chocolate, and cozy clothes are enough to heat up most people in the winter, one student was warmed up by another factor of the event.
I also just get warmth from the inside by being around with my friends.
Another way students warmed up was by showing off their dance moves. Prizes were given away periodically throughout the night as the SAB would announce who won. Prizes that were given away included blankets, technology, and more. Alex Weiss was glad he was among one of those prize winners.
Felt pretty good. I wasn't expecting to have little giveaway prizes, so that was pretty cool.
It was very chilly outside for Winterfest, but the cold didn't impact students' attendance for different reasons.
I'm actually from the great state of Vermont, so it gets a lot colder up there. I feel right at home here. This is bringing me back to my roots. I mean, I'm used to being outside a lot. I like doing stuff outside, so I just bundled up, put on some warm socks, and I'm good to go.
Warming up for Channel 14 News, I'm
Riley Holsinger! This week's forecast is calling for bread, eggs, and milk. With the latest wintry weather, Greene County residents are trying to plan ahead. Gwen Napier has the story.
With the winter weather we've been having and the storm approaching, Greene County residents are stocking up on the necessities.
My produce, stocking up for my dog, got him an extra toy so he doesn't get bored, and I'll be honest, I have about 4 huge things of toilet paper at home already, so I don't need to get toilet paper, but just produce and perishables for the most part. I'm from Ohio and we get a lot more snow than, I've only been here about 2 years, and it's nice to finally see snow. It seemed like the last couple of winters there was just a lot of slush and mud, so I don't mind the snow at all. I like it.
Not only is this winter storm affecting Greene County residents, it is also affecting students here at Waynesburg University. I spoke with Nick Staso, a commuter, about how the snow makes it difficult for him to get to classes.
It is a little bit more difficult when classes aren't canceled because I have to risk it whether to drive here and possibly wreck my car or stay at home and skip, but then again I don't want to miss anything when it comes to in-person classes, so yeah, it is a bit more difficult. Yeah, so especially on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday I do have 8 a.m. so I do wake up about an hour to an hour and a half earlier just so I can shower earlier, try to get here on time due to the weather, and the roads could be icy or snowy, so yeah, I do wake up a bit earlier. So I usually park on the outsides of campus, so the road that comes up, and Waynesburg University is on the right hand side. I park on that road. If they don't clean the roads, there's snow all over the parking spots, so you kind of bank your car up a little bit. So that's kind of what I did today because there's no other parking spots, so it is a bit difficult when they don't clean the roads.
I'm Gwen Napier, officially over all the snow, reporting for WCTV Channel 14 News.
What once used to be a childhood hobby is now something college students are using to make an extra buck. Here's Riley Holsinger with more on the story.
Collecting and reselling Pokemon cards has become such a trend that stores like Walmart are selling out of them fast.
Content creators like Logan Paul have got people interested in the Pokemon card market. Logan Paul has been live streaming unboxings of the original series cards and has one lined up February 27th. Logan Paul influenced Waynesburg University junior Brian Bauer to dip his toes into the market.
I watched Logan Paul's box break and I went, well, and me being a business major and having history reselling shoes, I said to myself, I can make money off of this.
Bauer says him and his brother's cards were approximately worth $2,000 before he started reselling them. For an original series box, it was closer to $200,000 last September. That number jumped up closer to $400,000 after Logan Paul did his first unboxing. Waynesburg University senior Dylan Williams agrees that Paul and other streamers had a big impact on the market.
They were already pretty expensive before if you had original cards, but after that was just a whole new platform.
Even though Logan Paul has had an impact on the Pokemon market, Williams believes that the nostalgia is a driving factor to play into the market rising.
It was a big thing back when we were younger, and now that we're older and have jobs, and the people that are into it are able to pay big money for it, I feel like that's a reason why you see all these sales on the high items, because people want to relive their childhood and the nostalgia factor.
Williams and Bauer's most profit off a singular card came from a Charizard card, netting them over $100. The highest amount of money for a Pokemon card was sold last December for $369,000 for a first edition holographic Charizard. Bauer foresees the market to continue to grow in the near future.
I think it's just going to keep getting more and more popular, and I think we're seeing that because me and Dylan will go to Walmart and we'll be looking for something, and 9 times out of 10 there's not going to be packs on the shelves.
Pokemon's theme is gotta catch 'em all, but without any packs here at Walmart for me to buy, it'll take me a while. Reporting for Channel 14 News, I'm Riley Holsinger.
That's all we have for campus and region news. When we come back, we'll have news from around the nation.
A grim milestone surpassed. 500,000 Americans killed by COVID-19. President Joe Biden, Vice President Kamala Harris, and their spouses led the nation in a moment of silence Monday night to honor those people. Melissa Rainey reports.
"500 candles light the night, honoring the more than 500,000 lives lost to COVID-19 in the U.S.
We often hear people described as ordinary Americans. There's no such thing. There's nothing ordinary about them. The people we lost were extraordinary.
The losses felt deeply across the country.
So raw, sometimes I'm grieving for my husband and then I realize my mom's gone.
She cared about lives. She didn't deserve to go through what she went through.
In the face of overwhelming grief, there are glimmers of hope. The number of new cases declining for the 5th week in a row, according to the CDC.
We continue to see trends head in the right direction.
The end of weather delays to vaccine distribution.
I anticipate that all backlog doses will be delivered by midweek.
And now efforts to help these smallest businesses recover.
The changes announced today will roll back restrictions that disproportionately impacted entrepreneurs of color from receiving relief.
But as the fight against the virus continues,
let this not be a story of how far we fell, but of how far we climbed back up.
President Biden is asking every American to take a moment and reflect.
We have to resist becoming numb to the sorrow. Remember those we lost and those who left behind.
I'm Melissa Rainey reporting.
The artist who sculpted the Charging Bull statue in New York has died at the age of 80. According to the New York Times, Arturo Di Domenica had been ill for several years. His most famous work was actually placed outside the New York Stock Exchange illegally in 1989. Di Domenica did not have permission from the city to display the statue, but outpouring support from the public convinced the city to keep it. Di Domenica sculpted Charging Bull as a symbol of the future after Wall Street took a tumble in the late 80s. Dominion Voting Systems is suing MyPillow and its CEO, Mike Lindell, for $1.3 billion. The suit accuses Lindell of spreading false information that Dominion rigged its machines to register votes in favor of President Joe Biden over former President Donald Trump. The 115-page complaint cites Lindell's many media appearances and 2-hour film that aired on OAN. Lindell has not been able to provide proof of his claims. The suit alleges he has made them in an effort to sell more pillows. According to the suit, discount codes customers can use on his site include Fight for Trump and QAnon. Dominion has also sued Trump's lawyer Rudy Giuliani and attorney Sidney Powell for making similar claims. Federal prosecutors have now charged at least 250 people in connection with the January 6th Capitol riot. That's according to CNN analysis of records and Department of Justice. Announcements: the latest person accused in the riot, Ryan Ashlock of Westwood, Kansas, who faces a number of charges, including obstructions of Congress. Ashlock also faces a conspiracy charge along with and in connection to a group said to be associated with the Proud Boys. Investigators also identified Ashlock as an individual seen on video pushing against a police barricade outside the Capitol and being pepper sprayed by police. No word on how Ashlock is pleading. 5 people, including a Capitol police officer, were killed in the riot. Members of Congress and then Vice President Mike Pence were evacuated to safety, temporarily shutting down debate over the Electoral College results.
A quick-moving winter storm causes traffic headaches in Pennsylvania's Lehigh Valley Monday. Jamie Stover has the story.
It stormed in almost as fast as it stormed out, but the quick falling snow made for a nightmarish day on the roads, especially on Route 33 North near Route 512 in Plainfield Township, Northampton County.
As far as you can see, it's blocked up. Lots of traffic, lots of tractor trailers. I saw a lot of empty commercial vehicles spinning out. They just can't get the traction to get up the hill.
One of our photojournalists was among the many caught in the standstill this afternoon. The highway was shut down and our crew saw a jackknife tractor trailer. PennDOT implemented restrictions on empty tractor trailers and reduced speeds on some highways in the area. Elsewhere, cars traveled slower not because they were told to, but because they couldn't move any faster. Small cars struggled to climb Route 145 in Salisbury Township, and it was a slow go near the Summit Lawn entrance on I-78, too.
Came from a truck with them, and 78 is all blocked off to the semi-truck jackknife over there.
Roads throughout the area were snow covered in what seemed like an instant.
Easy for me, little cars not so good. Just sliding around, starting and stopping, just slick. Came down quick. Sliding a little bit, but not that much.
Slippery, got to take your time. That's what's wrong with people. They just drive, don't consider the conditions of the roads.
State police in Bethlehem responded to 22 crashes and 42 disabled vehicles over 3.5 hours. Tiger Woods was hospitalized after being involved in a single car accident in Los Angeles on Tuesday morning. The Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department says it happened around 7 a.m. local time. Crews had to use the jaws of life to free him from the vehicle. Officials say Woods was near the border of the Rolling Hills Estates and Rancho Palos Verdes. According to Golf Digest, he suffered multiple leg injuries and is currently in surgery. No other vehicles were involved, and Woods was the only person in his car. The 45-year-old was in the area for his annual Genesis Invitational Golf Tournament at the Riviera Country Club in the Pacific Palisades just this past weekend. It's unclear what caused the accident. The Los Angeles Sheriff's Department is investigating. NASA has done it. The space program has successfully landed its most sophisticated rover yet on Mars. The Perseverance rover landed without help or intervention from NASA teams on Earth. Scientists say it was an incredibly difficult, quote, 7 minutes of terror, end quote. The rover had to slow from 12,000 miles per hour to 1 mile per hour in 7 minutes. Perseverance has been traveling through space since the end of July. It's part of a 2-year mission to look for signs of ancient life on the red planet. The rover will study the planet's climate and geology. The spacecraft also has Ingenuity on board, the first helicopter to fly on another planet. Google is honoring poet and civil rights activist Audre Lorde. Thursday would have been her 87th birthday. The company put up a colorful slideshow that depicts Lorde along with some of her most famous quotes. Lorde was a black feminist who advocated against gender discrimination, racial injustice, and homophobia. She published her first poem, Spring, in 17 magazine at the age of 15. Google posted one of Lorde's most famous quotes: "There is no such thing as a single-issue struggle, because we do not lead single-issue lives," end quote. She died in 1992 after a 14-year battle with breast cancer. Lorde's children said she would have loved the Google Doodle. Coming up next, Gwen Napier will have your business and entertainment update, but first, let's take a look outside with Brock Owens.
Ice, snow, and rain. That's been the trend recently, and I'm sad to say that that's not going to end tonight and into tomorrow, but the rest of the week could end that. And tomorrow we're going to get a spike in temperatures, but the next few nights, that spike's going to be in the wrong direction. Stay tuned here to the Newscast for more information a little later.
I'm Gwen Napier with your business and entertainment. As the air travel industry tries to recover from a massive plunge in bookings due to the pandemic, now airlines worldwide are dealing with a major safety scare that's grounded Boeing 777 jetliners. In today's Consumer Watch, a look at how this latest investigation is impacting investors and travelers.
A mid-air scare raising concerns worldwide. Airlines in the U.S., South Korea, and Japan grounding dozens of Boeing 777 jetliners after this fiery incident. A plane heading from Denver to Honolulu suffering engine failure shortly after takeoff Saturday, sending debris crashing down over Denver.
I think this aircraft is going to stay on the ground for a while until the inspection process is reviewed and we are sure that it can catch these little minute flaws.
Federal aviation regulators order stepped-up inspections of Boeing 777s that use Pratt & Whitney jet engines in response. This latest safety scare comes at a difficult time for the global aviation industry as it tries to rise from the heavy losses caused by the pandemic's impact on travel.
There are approximately 1,300 777s flying around the world, most of them powered by General Electric or Rolls-Royce engines, and they are not impacted.
For Boeing, this comes after a nearly 2-year grounding of its best-selling 737 MAX jet following 2 deadly crashes in Ethiopia and Indonesia. Boeing reported a record loss of nearly $12 billion in 2020. Raytheon, the maker of the Pratt & Whitney engine that blew apart after takeoff on that Denver flight, also taking a hit. On Monday, shares of Raytheon and Boeing fell during U.S. trading.
Although it's on a Boeing aeroplane and we all call it the Boeing 777 engine, it's a Pratt & Whitney issue and they need to step up very robustly to fix up this engine for their customer airlines.
For Consumer Watch, I'm Mandy Gaither reporting.
Former President Barack Obama has teamed up with legendary rocker Bruce Springsteen for a new podcast. It's called Renegades, Born into the USA, a nod to one of Springsteen's biggest hits. The podcast focuses on masculinity, race, and fatherhood, and includes a look of personal and professional journeys of both men. The collaborations is part of Spotify's multi-year partnership with Barack and Michelle Obama's production company, Higher Ground. That deal was announced in 2019 and was one of Spotify's early big bets in the podcast industry. There won't be one more time for Daft Punk, and their days of going around the world are over. At least that's what French electronic music duo wants you to think. The pair released a video Monday announcing the band's retirement, in a style consistent with their techno-infused robot image. The video shows them walking around a desert, then one of them removes his jacket to reveal a self-destruct pack, which the other activates and then explodes into smithereens. Daft Punk's publicist has confirmed the split, but that doesn't really mean anything. The whimsical act could always reform under a different name, or members could pursue solo careers. It's also common for musicians who retire to come out of retirement in a few years. Movie and music news now. Here's David Daniel with the Hollywood Minute.
New music from Crowded House. The iconic band has released To the Island off their upcoming album Dreamers Are Waiting, due out June 4th. They're also launching a 12-show tour next month in New Zealand, which has had more success than many countries in controlling the coronavirus.
I feel very blessed.
Lupita Nyong'o's best-selling children's book is going to be an animated Netflix film. Sulwe is about a Kenyan girl who wishes her dark skin was lighter. The Netflix logline describes it as a story about colorism, self-esteem, and understanding that true beauty comes from within.
I look into the crowd and I see every single person in there is going through something.
A bonus for Billie Eilish fans who tune in Thursday for the Apple TV documentary Billie Eilish, The World's a Little Blurry. At 9 p.m. Eastern, just before the film's premiere, a live event is set to feature a performance by Eilish and a conversation with the singer-songwriter. Fans can stream it for free on the Apple TV and Apple Music apps and on Eilish's YouTube channel. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
That's all we have for business and entertainment. Next up is Adam Morganti with your sports report when we come back.
The Waynesburg University men's basketball team got its second straight win this past Saturday after defeating Bethany.
Hi, I'm Adam Morganti with your WCTV Sports Report. On Saturday, the Waynesburg men's basketball team picked up its second consecutive win of the season against Bethany. Jared Weicker was there for the action.
The Waynesburg University men's basketball team got its second straight win this past Saturday after defeating Bethany College 68-43. The Yell Jackets' solid defensive play stopped the Bison in their tracks and gave up a season-best 43 points, which was the fewest since 2015.
We defend and we rebound. That's kind of what it is right now. We defend at a high level. We do a great job guarding the ball. We do a great job of contesting shots, and we rebound. And I think that has been consistent.
The Jackets started off with a quick 4-0 lead, followed by 4 unanswered by the Bison to make it a 4-4 game early in the first half. Waynesburg then took the lead and never looked back. The Jackets took a 30-23 lead at halftime. Bethany started the second half by scoring the first 5 of 7 points, but Waynesburg responded by going on its best run this season and outscoring Bethany 34-8 to take a 66-36 lead with just over 3 minutes left in the second half. The Bison ended the game scoring 7 unanswered to make the 68-43 final score. Freshman Jansen Knotts led the Jackets with 16 points scored, and Waynesburg had 2 more players scoring in double digits in juniors Isaiah Alonzo and Matt Popek.
Coach calls my name. He brings me off the bench. I just come in ready to play, and I try to play smart
I try to be a good teammate and get my teammates involved and just be patient and let the game come to me because it's all part of the process.
Freshman Travis Zimmerman led the Bison on the score sheet with 12 points scored. Waynesburg also tallied season highs in defensive turnovers and steals. For WCTV Sports, I'm Jared Weicker.
Waynesburg will look to make it 3 wins in a row on Wednesday night when it hosts the Chatham Cougars. Tip-off is at 7 at the Rudy Mariza Fieldhouse. Chatham has a 3-3 record on the season, which is a half game ahead of Waynesburg in the standings. The Cougars swept the season series last year, including defeating Waynesburg in the first round of the PAC tournament. Congratulations to freshman Jansen Knotts for being named President's Athletic Conference Rookie of the Week. Knotts averaged 15 points and 12.5 rebounds in victories over Franciscan and Bethany last week. This season, Knotts is averaging 11 points per game, which is 3rd on the team, and 9 rebounds, which is 2nd on the team and 6th in the PAC. After multiple postponements due to COVID-19, the Waynesburg women's basketball team returned to the court this week. The Lady Jackets games last week against Franciscan and Bethany got postponed. Waynesburg now travels to Bethany on Wednesday, March 2nd at 6 p.m. The game against Franciscan will now be played on Tuesday, March 9th at the Rudy Mariza Fieldhouse. Tip-off is set for 7 p.m. The Lady Jackets game at Chatham on Wednesday was also postponed. The makeup date for that is set for this Thursday at the Rudy Mariza Fieldhouse at 7 p.m. Waynesburg is 0-4 on the season, while Chatham has a record of 1-4. Chatham swept the season series last year. The Penguins are back in action tonight when it journeys to the nation's capital to battle the Washington Capitals. Puck drop is at 7 p.m. The Penguins have a 3-1 record against Capitals this season. Last time out, the Penguins beat the New York Islanders 3-2 in Sidney Crosby's 1,000th game, where he collected 2 assists. Chris Letang led the way with 2 goals, including the game winner. The Penguins have 19 points on the season and are in 5th place in the East Division. Steelers head coach Mike Tallman tested positive for COVID-19 last week. Tallman said, quote, "Luckily, I have had minimal symptoms and I'm thankful to be in good health," end quote, in a statement on social media yesterday. He's entering his 15th season as a Steelers coach. That's all from the sports desk. Brock Owens has your weather update coming up next on Channel 14 News.
Zuzik into the end zone, almost untouched. The middle, back out to Delaney, 3-ball. How about, yes. Cuts up inside, into the end zone. Touchdown, Trenton Carter.
We've had a lot of ice and snow recently, but don't expect any precipitation for the rest of today. The high for today is 46 degrees and the low is 30, with winds averaging about 15 miles per hour and gusts up to 35 miles per hour. Tomorrow the high jumps up to 55 degrees, so certainly no snow, but some afternoon rain showers are likely. Tomorrow night the temperature will drop back down to 29 degrees. Thursday's high will be back to 46 degrees and the low to 20 degrees. No precipitation is expected Thursday, and that will continue into Friday. Friday's high is up a little at 42 degrees, but the low will be up quite a bit to 35 degrees. Looking into the weekend, Saturday and Sunday both have a high around 50 degrees. Saturday has a low of 38, and Sunday with a low of 40. We could see some scattered showers over the weekend, but nothing too major. And a quick peek into the beginning of next week, Monday will start off March with a high of 46 and low of 28 with some chance of rain, and next Tuesday has a projected high of 40 and low of 25 with no chance at any precipitation.
Thank you, Brock Owens, for that quick weather update. You know what this warm weather means? It means spring is just 1 month away, and it's already midterm week here at Waynesburg University.
Yeah, it's already midterms week, which you reminded me. I do have to prepare for some midterms, but that's going to do it for us here on WCTV. From Caleb Yauger
and Rachel Pellegrino,
thank you for tuning in to Channel 14 News.